That's totally normal. That is not normal at all. What are you doing? That's right, that's right. That's also right. You know what? Whatever. That'll probably be fine for tonight. Sorry about that. Yeah, okay. That seems to be working. The chat dock is not working. It's okay. That's okay. We can just ignore that. Yeah, we don't need that. That's fine not to have that. All this is fine. I don't see how that could go wrong. Yeah. Okay. Hey there, hi there, Hyde here. And today we're gonna be playing Pokemon Snap, because I'm sick, and I don't like that. But what can you do, really, you know? First things first, we have to make sure that this is on normal, because I hate having it on reverse. Yeah. Very good. So when I get sick, yes, that's fine. I prefer to play games with heavy nostalgia, right? They remind me of times when I wasn't sick. What should we name this person? Usually in Pokemon games, I name myself Brug. However, this is Pokemon Snap, and his real name is actually Todd Snap, which is a terrible name, right? I think that's probably the worst name for a Pokemon character ever, Todd Snap. It's like naming Spider-Man, Peter Spider-Man, you know? Or I guess Peter Snap would work too. Let's just go with Hyde, you know, Hyde's my name. That'll be easiest for me. Yeah. My voice is still very unstable. My throat hurts. And, I might not be talking much this stream. And when I do talk, it's probably not going to be too much of, anything important. Hello there, Hyde. I'm Oak, the Pokemon professor. Wonderful. Hi, Oak. The reason I invited you here is this Pokemon report. I have a report due about Pokemon, and I'm going to outsource that to you, my graduate student. I'd like for you to take pictures of Pokemon for the Pokemon report. This guy is just like, he's the compiler of the Pokedex, right? So obviously he's outsourcing all of the hard work to graduate students, right? Like all of the ecological data, all of the pictures that go into the Pokedex, he's not doing any of that. He's just in a lab back here, not doing any hard work himself. Here on Pokemon Island, wild Pokemon can be found everywhere. This is my new invention, the 01 vehicle. First off, like, why are you inventing vehicles? You're a Pokemon professor, you're not an engineer. What do you think you're doing? You're stepping on some engineers' toes here. I don't think that's your job, Professor Oak. Stick in your lane, right? You can take this on your trip. Why, thank you. The 01 vehicle constantly moves towards the goal gate. We're on rails. Shall I repeat this information? No, Gaibora. No, thank you. I'll teach you how to take pictures in the first course. I'm counting on you, Hyde. As is my, grant money. Great. Fantastic. So it's a very simple game, and it's a rail-based photography game. And my encoder is overloaded. It should not be. But that's okay. This is going to be a very scuffed stream anyway. Yeah, let's go. Very simple. We take pictures of Pokemon, sometimes inflict violence on them. Did you know that you can, there's a way to slow down the 0-1, which is the Z button. Did you want Z? Z. Okay, you want ZL. And A to shoot. Very good. I'm kind of forced into this. Try to take a lot of Pokemon pictures. That's fine, you know. I just gotta get back into the groove of this, right? Ooh, that's still reversed. There are ways to slow down things, like the 0-1. If you hit the C buttons, or what would be the equivalent of C button, this is reversed. This is still reversed. I hate it. This is gonna be a problem. We're gonna have to fix that. I'm not very good at photography, you know? I'm not very good at Pokemon Snap either. There's some ridiculous scores out there for Pokemon Snap. And it's just not very good at all. Not being able to get these in the center, very bad. Yeah. But it's a very nostalgic game, right? A lot of people grew up with this game. A lot of millennials. Ooh, that is gonna annoy me. A lot of millennials grew up renting this game, which is something that a lot of people don't do nowadays, right? You don't rent games. And if Nintendo has their way, you don't even own games. Yeah. Remember when you used to, like, own games? You could buy physical copies of games and own them forever. And then you could resell them. Or you could, you know, lend them to, any of your friends in school. Perhaps trade them for other games. You can't do that anymore. It's a different era. That's okay, though, you know? The times they are changing. And owning nothing is the new owning things. I didn't know that that Meowth was down there. Did you see that? That was very strange. I've never seen that before. Apparently they use a lot of... Oh, sorry, my voice. Oh, sorry, my encoder. Apparently they use a lot of 3D trickery in their models here. So they basically just scale everything down to 0. And it causes all of these models to pop out of existence. Which is pretty cool, you know? They were working on some limited hardware with the original N64. And if I recall correctly, Pokemon Snap was actually made for one of... Or was initially made for one of the add-ons to the N64 system, right? That's another thing that really isn't a thing anymore, is it? I don't think we're gonna get a better Pidgey picture, so we'll take this one. We're not gonna get a better Doduo picture, we'll take that one. We only have one Pikachu picture, so we'll take that. Sure, why not? In this game, size is very important, but second to size is getting the picture in, or getting the Pokemon in the center of the frame. If you don't have the center, you're not going to get double points. And double points is more points than just size alone. I think the maximum for size in this game is 1,000. So, I think this is our best bet. He might give it to us. I don't know how the pixel magic works in this game. Ugh. Neither of those are very good. But there is some kind of pixel magic in the game where that's awful. Where sometimes what looks like off-center is not actually off-center. Hopefully that's the case with that Butterfree, because I hate taking pictures of Butterfree. Alright, tell me how I did, Professor Oak. They really streamlined this process in the new Pokemon Snap. Yes, show those pictures to Oak. What's new this time? Wonderful. This is Pidgey. How's the size? Not even half. That's unfortunate, but you know, I think 1,000 is not the max for pose. Some Pokemon have higher poses. Yeah. But yeah, that double points is very good. That's how you get all of your points in this game. You gotta double everything. That Wonderful is stuck in my mind, and it has been since I first rented this game as a child. So yeah, obviously the tutorial picture, he likes it because he forced me into it. I don't think that's very fair, you know? But we have to get through the early game first before it really gets fun. You know when this game really gets fun? It's not when you open up new paths, it's when you get the Pester Ball and you can assault Pokemon with tear gas. That's when it gets really fun, you know? That's my favorite part of the game. And I'm really sad that they got rid of Pester Balls in the new Pokemon Snap. I feel like that's wasted, right? Like, you had this history of assaulting Pokemon with tear gas, and instead what do you get? These shiny crystal balls? And I don't know. I don't know why you would do that. You don't like the violence against Pokemon? Okay. So the pixel magic didn't help us. That's very unfortunate. I was talking about how this was developed for an add-on to the N64. And that's true. I think Majora's Mask might have been as well. There were a lot of... I was not close. You have to do some speed manipulation of the 0-1 to get that Lapras. I don't actually think there's a good place for Lapras. This game has a better place for Lapras in that same level. Wait, Hyde, let's return to the lab. But it's still not great. I saw the pictures taken by Hyde. I'm right here. You can just say that I saw your pictures. I saved these pictures in the Pokemon report. I'll help you out. What? Oh, you'll help me out. Why will you help me out? How will you help? Oh. I'll help you out once you have more Pokemon pictures. Do more of my work for me, Hyde. Good luck. Oh, I've arranged it so that you can see the Pokemon report too. Thank you, that's great. We're just gonna go back to the course. Yeah. Now, usually when I play the... Oh, wait. Hold on a second. I want to change something in the settings, and I'm not sure how to do that without showing you my Switch. That's not right. I guess we'll save and then go back. Yes. No. Okay. Yeah. Press start. Options. Yeah. It reset that on me. That's very weird. I guess when you start a new game, it just gets rid of all of your preset options. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've recently played this game. Because I've been sick for I don't know how long. Another week and a half, 2 weeks. Hopefully I'm getting over that. I've been waiting for you, Hyde. I expect you to take good pictures. Pictures of Spider-Man. Yeah. So usually when I play this game, I'll go through the same level a couple of times, get a good feel for it. If you do this a lot, you can actually slow down the movement of the 0-1, which is an advanced level strat. I'm not going to do that to you. I don't care too much about the points, so we're not going to do that. We're not going to be concerned about that. If I wanted maximum points, I could do that. I know that that's a strategy. Doing C-stick left and right. And yeah, you can get better pictures that way. But I don't think it's worth it. I think it's a pain, and it doesn't look nice. There is a better place for Lapras a little bit further in. I don't think we can get the Snorlax, no. We can get the Meowth, though. It's not a very good Meowth. When this game, you get the final upgrade to the 0-1, where you can really control your speed, that's when you can get the best pictures, right? Not only can you slow yourself down, there's a better Lapras. This game, okay. This game has, hidden objectives, right? Which is something I don't think they really did too well in the new one. You missed the Gore Hyde? Yeah. Oh, Guru Hyde. Yeah, Guru Hyde hasn't been around for a while. Neither has Dracula Hyde. BFE Hyde has been gone for a while. That's not ideal either. You know, I haven't really been making too much content. I like watching that. Very good, very good. So one of the ways to trigger the appearance of Pokemon later in a level is to simply take pictures of them. Gus Pidgey? Very good. So if you take pictures of certain Pokemon throughout the level, they'll appear later in the level, or they'll do something new. That's very common in this. It's been a while since I was Guru Hyde. Maybe I'll do another philosophy thing sometime. I don't know if Guru Hyde has a place anymore, you know? I think what happened is id kind of took over Guru Hyde's place. Oh. This one's out of center, and this one is... Okay, Pokemon Snap does this weird thing where the Pokemon that's closest to you, even if it's not the one in the center, is sometimes picked as the Pokemon that you're photographing. So, even though there's a Pidgey in the center of this picture, he might say that that's out of center, because he's looking at the one on the side, whereas this one is closer to center. I know it's stupid. I hate it. But that's how it works. So that's what we're gonna pick. That's a pretty good Doduo. We're probably gonna get about 500 points for that. And this Pikachu is looking dead on, right? I think we'll get the pixel magic there. For those of you who don't remember Guru Hyde briefly appeared once, I think, in a stream, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it wasn't even a video, I don't think. I think it was a stream. 14 pictures of Lapras. If only the Loch Ness Monster were as easy to photograph, right? That's pretty good. It's also pretty good. Do we have anything better? You do get multiple Pokemon bonuses if you have multiple Pokemon of the same type. I think this is good. I really like that. Also, I added another gain filter to my microphone. So if it sounds weird, if it's unbalanced, if it's not balanced well enough, do say something and I'll work on that. It's a work in progress, but I got kind of sleepy because I'm sick. And I feel fatigued. So I've not really been doing anything content-wise. Again, I played a little bit of this game. I played I don't know if I played anything else. I don't think I have. Tell me how I did, Professor Oak.
Yes.
But yeah, I haven't really been doing too much with content. I haven't even been editing, you know? It's... there's a lot on my plate. That's a worse picture. I can't believe it. It looks bigger, doesn't it? Like, you know that famous experiment with children where if you put the same amount of liquid in different glasses of different sizes, like different diameters or circumferences or whatever you want to call it, the one that has the higher liquid looks like it has more liquid, even though it's the exact same amount of liquid. That's kind of how I feel with this game sometimes. I can't believe that. What do you mean that's a better pose? Sometimes this game doesn't make any sense to me. That's okay, you know? It's still fun. I found that I enjoy games more if I complain about them while I'm playing them, you know? Like, it's not that I hate the games that I complain about. In fact, I like the games that I complain about probably more than I let on. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's more enjoyable to nitpick about the games that I actually very much enjoy. I was talking about Guru Hyde, right? Yeah, id took the place of Guru Hyde, Gust using Pidgey. And, basically any of the id sermons, you're telling me the Gust using Pidgey is a worse pose. Okay, sure. Why not? Thank you, Oak. Thank you for that. There is actually a way to cheese this initial Pidgey. If you use the manipulation of the 0-1 speed, you can look behind you for an even better picture. It's one of the best pictures in the game for non-Pikachu Pokemon. Wonderful!
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Let's check out the tunnel. I really like the tunnel as a area, right? It really sets up the theme of the game. You're on rails, sure. But it explains a lot of the intricate little details here. Yeah. That's an easily missed one. A lot of people miss that. They don't know about that, but yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier, right? There are certain Pokemon that you have to actually be paying attention to. You have to take pictures of them in order for them to go further. Right? In the level. They will just move along. I think I missed the Kakunas here. I really don't like the Kakunas. They have weird faces. They're like aliens. They're not like bugs. Although I guess bugs are kind of like aliens, aren't they? I don't know if we got that. Probably not. That Pikachu is worthless. It's a troll Pikachu. The only thing it's good for is hatching an egg. Come on. Right, that Magikarp. Apparently, I didn't know this beforehand. That's bad. But apparently there are leaderboards for this game, right? Like, people maximize points, which is very strange to me. Diglett? Diglett dig, Diglett dig. Diglett's another one of these ones where you have to take pictures of it in order to get the progression. And apparently it just went back. That's okay. We don't need it. I think we do get our next upgrade here at the end of this level, which kind of sucks timing-wise. It makes you come back here anyway. These things. When I first saw these in Pokemon, I guess it would have been Yellow. Hi. When I first saw these things in Pokemon Yellow, I thought they were like the stupidest Pokemon that would ever exist. Boy, was I wrong. Pokemon has gone to new lows. Ugh. And that's not me being a Gen 1 elitist, because I'm telling you that these Pokemon, they were not great. These Magnemites, not well designed. And Magneton, or is it Magnetron? I'm not sure. I always get Megaton and Magnetron confused. It's probably Magnetron, like, you know, the Magnetron device. That's probably a thing. I don't know. Let's see our Pikachu pictures. That's pretty good. That one's perfect. Electrode. That's off-center, unfortunately. This is another thing, right? Where sometimes the pictures don't actually register. That those are Kakunas instead of the electrode in the corner there. I get it. I get it. They're closer to the center of the frame. But at the same time, I don't know. I wish they were a little bit better. It's pretty good. It's dead! We did get some Kakunas, okay. I'm happy. They're not good, but we don't actually care about points. Again, we're not here to maximize points. That's a game for more adept players, as it were. And that's not me, right? That's not me at all. All I care about is playing the game, seeing the nice environments. I think that's probably more centered. And having fun. Because to me, like, these old N64 games, they were what I was playing when I was having a sick day from school. Wow, isn't that Pikachu on a ball? No, it's on an electrode. This is a worthless Pikachu, by the way. There are so many better Pikachus out there. You can get some insane points from Pikachu photos, but this one, no. This one, no. Apparently, there are 4 different levels with Pikachu, which is insane to me, that there are 4 different levels with Pikachu. You'd think there'd be 6 different levels of Pikachu, but there are actually 2 levels without. Right? Like, Pikachu, at this point... at this point in Pokemon's history, was the cute one. It was the face of the anime. It was on all of the merchandise. It had its own game, Pokemon Yellow. Sorry. So, you know, the fact that they didn't put a Pikachu in every level is kinda surprising. And I just learned this, before the stream. I was not even close. But there is one Pokemon, and only one Pokemon, that is in every level but the final boss level. That Pokemon is Magikarp. Most worthless of all Pokemon. I know it's not in the middle of the frame. I need to cough, 1 second. The most worthless of all Pokemon is somehow the one that's in every level. And it makes perfect sense why. They wanted an interaction with the water. Water, yeah, is in every single level. Even the volcano level has water, which is interesting, right? Like, a lot of people don't think about that, but it's true. Volcanoes are basically igneous rock, and water pools in igneous rock. Wait, Hyde, let's return to the lab. So, you know, you get puddles and lakes and streams going through the unconsolidated tufts and ashes and mud flows. There's a lot of water on volcanoes. Yeah. You take pictures at a good pace. I don't want your present, old man. To make your work easier... Oh, I see how it is. I got you a present. It's a stapler. To make my report easier to give me. Thank you. I appreciate that. It'll come in handy for taking Pokemon pictures. Would you like to be closer with Pokemon? What are you asking me? I've heard about the, octillery that washed up on the beach, old man. Then use this apple-shaped Pokemon food. Apple-shaped Pokemon food. That kinda gets the old brain working, doesn't it? Apple-shaped Pokemon food. It's not an apple. And it's not even a fruit. It's Pokemon food that is apple-shaped. Like, someone is mass-producing these out there. It's not like a berry that you would find on a berry bush. Yeah, that face exactly. What is it? It's made of ground-up Magikarp, of course, and Slowpoke tails. It's easy to use. When you're not focusing your camera, press A to throw it. Pokemon in the distance will happily come closer when you use this item. If you want to throw further, look up slightly, then throw. Here's a hint for you. Throw some Pokemon food to an electrode that's not moving, and see what happens. Good luck, Hyde. Shall I repeat this information? Yes, word for word. Now, we could do that, or we could go back to the first level and take some new pictures. I think for this playthrough, we're just gonna go march forward blindly. You want an apple, Pikachu? Violence! I love violence. Where's the Electabuzz? I think Professor Oak really enjoys violence. And he's a man after my own heart, you know? He really enjoys the violence. I enjoy the violence. Here's a fun fact. If you hit Pokemon, you can actually stop your cart. And that'll give you more time to take pictures of these type of Pokemon. Yeah. That's one of the best ways to do it. Bonk. Oh, we had a little encoding overload there. I'm sorry about that. There's something wrong with my drivers that I still haven't fixed. We'll get there. Or maybe we won't. I'm not sure. Maybe we won't. The Magikarp is in the little puddle up here. Yeah. Bonk. So you gotta watch for it. That was awful. You can also sometimes spawn Magikarp in different waterways. It depends on the level, really. So for some of them it works. I don't think you can do that in this one. Come on, Diglett. We're gonna follow the Diglett here. I remember when I was younger and everyone wondered what was underneath the Diglett. No one wonders what's underneath the Diglett anymore. What's underneath the Diglett is gross. We got the Alolan things, right? And no one wants to see anything more from them. Anything more? No. Okay. These things like apples, which is very strange to me, right? You wouldn't expect them to like apples. Here's another fun fact that I learned just earlier. Because I was watching videos on this. There are only 63 Pokemon in this game, out of the original 151 Pokemon in the first generation of Pokemon. Which is very cool. They couldn't even make it an even 64. But apparently, and here's a fun fact, we know from beta pictures, shared pictures of beta or prototype versions of this game, that there were supposed to be more Pokemon. This goes back to the fact that this was built for the add-on, whatever add-on it was. Disk drive, maybe? It was probably the disk drive. Don't quote me on that. That's a bad picture. But yeah, the disk drive would have massively increased the capabilities of... Ooh, I like that. It's kind of cute. Do we want the head, or do we want, like, the bottom? The ovipositor. I think we want the head. But yeah, the disk drive would have made it possible for more Pokemon to be rendered on the screen at the same time. More Pokemon to be in the game, probably. And the beta, the pictures for, I guess it was a Safari type zone, show Ekans. So there are 2 pictures of Ekans out there. Ekans being the pre-evolution of Arbok, for those of you not in the know. And I know what you're thinking. Everybody knows Ekans. You're wrong. You're wrong. I've been watching a lot of Northern Lion, right? I do like Northern Lion. I've enjoyed Northern Lion for years now. I used to fall asleep to his Binding of Isaac videos. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I used to do it. I used to fall asleep to his Binding of Isaac videos all the time. That's beautiful. That's very intimidating. I think Oak is gonna love that. I used to fall asleep to his Binding of Isaac videos all the time, and he's been playing this game called Pokidoku, which is essentially just Sudoku with Pokemon. And instead of adding up to 9, you have to fill in like a little graph using little hints. So it's more like a crossword, and there are multiple choice typically. Yeah, show those. So it'd be like the column would have flying type, and then the row would have Sinnoh region or something like that. And I keep seeing a bunch of Pokemon that I don't recognize when I play them. They're from, I guess, Galar and Alola, and all of the new zones that, or new regions that I've never played. And there are very easy ones like Kanto and normal type. And they just have like the weirdest answers. Or ones that aren't Kanto would have normal type. And you would say, oh, you know, like Nidorino maybe. Something like that.
Well done.
And they're just not there. They're picking all of these weird things. There is a definite bias towards the most picked options in Pokidoku. And it makes me feel old. You know, it makes me feel old to be playing Pokidoku.
Well done.
Because I can't get a lot of them. Like, I was lucky that I knew Dracovish, I guess. That's one of the fossil Pokemon from Galar, or I think it's from Galar. It was the one where you had to, like, recreate a fossil Pokemon, like during the Dinosaur Wars, where people would just put a random skull on a random skeleton and say that's a new Pokemon, or that's a new, it's a new dinosaur. That's essentially what that was referencing, right? But yeah, I don't know. I didn't play those. Bullied the Electrode? Not yet. I'm gonna bully the Electrodes harder. I'm not done bullying Pokemon. We don't have the item to bully them enough.
Well done.
That's a fun thing too. Every item can be used to bully Pokemon in this game, right? Like, you get 3 items. You get the apple, you get the you get the Pokemon food that is apple-shaped, you get the Pester Ball, and you get the Pokeflute. And each one of those can bully a Pokemon, which is great. I really love bullying Pokemon. And so does Oak. Oak loves it. Oak loves violence. Oak loves reporting on Poke Wars, you know? That's what he does. That's his research.
Wow.
I hate that
Wonderful.
your score isn't doubled after you get the same Pokemon, right? Like, the technique is applied before you add the same Pokemon bonus. I think the game could have been so much better if you doubled after the Pokemon bonus. It's horrible! I didn't know you'd get extra points there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
Wait.
Wait, Hyde, let's return to the lab.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Hyde, you found a split in the path. According to my research, that split should link to a new course. I've also made a link for my lab. You should go right away. Professor Oak, presumably you had to go on this path yourself to establish this link with these portal systems that you've somehow invented. You know what? I think that's probably a bigger deal than, you know, the fact that there are Pokemon that need researched on this island. The fact that you've invented portal technology might be a bigger deal for the Pokemon world. Instead of having kids flying on the back of Dragonites and Starlies, how about you just release the portal technology, Professor Oak? This happened all the way back in 1999, and we still don't have portals in the actual Pokemon games. Come on, get with the times.
Yeah.
Oh, even better, you want me to investigate a volcano. You know what volcanoes have? They have toxic and poisonous gases that can asphyxiate children with our child-sized lungs.
Yes.
So sure, send me there without any kind of protection or H2S monitoring gear. I'm sure it'll be fine. Rapidash. Bonk. I'm sure this is fine, it really is. It is not fine. Here's a tip for you. If you ever get sent towards a volcano without any kind of gas measuring or detecting systems, or PPE, don't. Don't go. It's that simple. Can I bonk one of these? I can bonk them, but they don't die like the other Pokemon do. Right? The other Pokemon die. These ones are less fun. I do like when the Pokemon, like, get all dizzy and they don't know what they're doing. Like that. Right there. That's fun. I enjoy this game a great deal. Ah, my throat. Because there are a lot of different hidden things. And when I play games, one of my favorite parts of playing a game is finding all of the little hidden and secret things you can do. This is a fun one where you can just call a bunch of different Charmanders down here. Aren't they cute? I think Charmander has one of the best models in this game. I know it's very simple. I'm not biased towards Charmander, by the way. My first Pokemon was Pikachu. And I'm not biased towards Pikachu either. Come on. Let's get a nice picture for the warmonger Professor Oak. I've covered Poké-Wars, you know? I just think it's a really nice model, right? The roundness of Charmander lends itself to this. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah. Yeah, you were way behind, if that's the case. I do have this set to low latency. Maybe I should have set it to ultra low. I feel like there's better... there's less frame drop when it's on low as opposed to ultra low. Come on, look at me. Perfect. Perfect. Moltres? Perfect. I think the size is more important than the pose most of the time. Most Pokemon have like a max pose of 1,000. It's not very high, right? I know they have a max size of like 1,000 too, but I feel like the poses typically they're in the 700 range at most. I can never remember if that's a Pester Ball or if that's an apple. But yeah, I've been trying to mess with settings on a bunch of things as of late. So things are going to be a little bit inconsistent. Hopefully the experience is improved, right? That's all I can say. Hopefully the experience... Well, this is a very low effort stream today. I'm not even talking about anything, really. I'm just reacting, which is not the kind of content that I like to do. None of these are great. Oh, We'll go with you. All picks. Great. Fantastic. I feel like that's a poor pose, but the size is bigger. Horrible Magmar pictures. Wow. Wow, that's way off center, huh? We'll go with that. We're gonna get fewer points for it, but we'll go with that. Generally, when you're going for Moltres, the best way to get Moltres is to actually slow down the 0-1, which I will not subject you to because I don't like doing it myself. There are a bunch of different tips and tricks that is so off-center. To do that, the easiest one again being going left-right on the C-stick. I guess that's okay. We want this one, I think. Yeah, we want that one. They just look so stupid. But the roundness of the model really lends itself to this game, doesn't it? Do we want the dead Charmeleon, or... Okay, we can't beat that. He's gonna love that, I'm sure. Violence is always the answer. I think that's great. Alright, Professor Oak, tell me how I did.
Yes.
I'm excited here. We're really going through this game. I think you can beat this game in a couple hours. I don't know if I'm actually going to beat this game on stream. Oh, it's neighing. Fantastic. Probably not. I just really wanted to be able to play something while I'm sick like this. I know I haven't been around much. I thought I was getting better, and I thought my health was improving, and that I'd be able to come back to streaming. Like, I announced that in my Discord, right?
Wow.
I announced that I was improving, and then the very next day, completely unrelated to the alcohol I sampled, probably, my nose clogged back up, and then I got, well, you know, the same symptoms again. I totally didn't suppress my immune system with alcohol, you know? That's not what happened.
Wow.
Speaking of, I have another batch of coffee wine. That's a pretty good picture.
Wonderful.
That's a pretty good picture. I have another batch of coffee wine that I need to move into secondary. I haven't been drinking. Well, obviously I've been sick. I've been sick, so I haven't been drinking, but even before that, I hadn't been drinking. So, sampling the coffee wine as I moved it into secondary was the first alcohol I've had in probably a month or two. Well, not a month or two, like a month and then some change, maybe.
Wow.
Which was nice, you know? I was really enjoying it. Oh wow, we got the same Pokemon bonus there, because there's a tiny pixel. I did not expect that.
Wonderful.
I thought we weren't going to get that for sure. Charmeleon. It's So-So? Yeah, that's right. If I recall correctly, the best pose you can get on Magikarp until the next level is 750? Or maybe it's 1,000. Most Pokemon, they improve
Wonderful.
when you hit them with an apple, but actually some don't. Wait, Hyde, let's return to the lab. And I always found it very inconsistent which ones do and which ones don't. Welcome back! I always thought that this was a very lazy model. Having this JPEG of Professor Oak talking to me. But then, like when I was replaying it recently off stream, I thought to myself, this is a PNG tuber model. This Professor Oak is a PNG tuber. He was the first PNG tuber all the way back in 1990. 1999, yeah. You're doing a fine job, Hyde. Choose go to course. And I actually thought about turning it into a PNG tuber model and then using it. But I didn't have the energy. We're just gonna enjoy this stream as it is, I think. Yeah. The river. It's about here in the game where I start to hate it. It's not that I hate it. I hate the backtracking. Because there's a lot to do in the river. Again, I really love the game. And the more I nitpick a game, the more I tend to enjoy it. One of my favorite Zelda games is like that. And I guess I did play a little bit of that between the last stream and this one too. Poliwhirl. Poliwag. It's a great picture, is it? Do you want an apple? Do you want an apple? No, you don't want an apple. Bulbasaur. When I did play Pokemon Blue, and I did as a kid, I preferred blue to red. When I played Pokemon Blue... Get out of there. When I played Pokemon Blue, I would always pick Bulbasaur. I really like Bulbasaur as a character, or as a design, right? I think Bulbasaur is kind of the Pokemon. I know everybody likes the cute Pikachu, but personally, Bulbasaur being a frog with a plant on its back, really cool. Really cool, in fact. I'm a big fan of frogs in general. I don't know if I've ever talked about that, but I really like frogs. Yeah. Frogs are great, right? They have really cool skeletons. Their jaws are massive, indicating that they're predators that swallow their prey whole. I think everything about a frog is really cool. They have really cool life cycles. No, we're not going for that magic carp. Can I hit one of these? Can I aim? Probably not. Okay, the apples do nothing to these. They don't care. Yeah, that little splash there is extra point pose. Whenever I saw this as a kid, I'd always think that these are like the I Want to Believe poster. You remember from X-Files? Maybe not, if you've never watched X-Files. But in the X-Files, there's a character called Fox Mulder. And Fox Mulder is a conspiracy theorist for the FBI. I think that's his actual job position, conspiracy theorist for the FBI. Speed Pikachu. I hate this one. I don't have the reflexes for it. But it's worth a lot of points. Probably more points for anything. But yeah, Fox Mulder had this picture of a UFO, a grainy poster of it, and it said, "I want to believe," as the caption for the poster. And that's what I think about when I see these flying shelders and cloisters. I didn't... I didn't know that shelders flew before I played this game, you know? I assumed they would just, I guess, propel themselves through the water. Like, maybe this is more topical. Maybe this is more, age relevant. But there was a... There was an episode of SpongeBob, right? And in that episode, there were scallops. And I think SpongeBob and Patrick were raising a stray baby scallop for a period of time. Which one of these is better? I think that one's better. It's less centered as a whole, but I like the derpy look on its face. So yeah, there was an episode of SpongeBob where there were scallops featured. I guess the size might be better. And the neat thing about that was that they actually moved like real scallops. Real scallops can propel themselves through the water with like little jets of water through specialized I don't remember what they're called. Sifuncles, maybe? Don't quote me on that. Bivalves are not my area of expertise. But I think they do that. Which is cool, because they almost look like they're flying in the water. But they're not. They're not actually flying in the water. But I think that's probably what the developers here were going for. Right? These are awful. We'll show it to him anyway. So I can kind of understand what's happening with them flying through the air like UFOs. But at the same time, like, it doesn't make sense from a typing perspective. They're not water flying type, they're not water psychic type. And I'm pretty sure Cloyster was ice type, right? What a happy face. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cloyster was ice type. And there weren't really too many ice types in Gen 1. I think there was Jinx, there was Articuno. Wait, yeah. Articuno, Cloyster. Dugong was ice type, but not Seal, or whatever the Seal one was. And I don't remember any others. So yeah. But thinking about it, Gen 1 had a lot of, like, a lot of weird things going on. There weren't a lot of ghost-type Pokemon either. The only ghost types in Gen 1 were Haunter, Ghastly, and Gengar, if I remember correctly. And in Gen 1 there wasn't even a Steel type, but we had Magnemite, which I guess is now Steel type. It's still a better picture. Which is interesting to me, that they decided to change the typing of things. Here's a fun fact, for anyone who played the original Pokemon trading card game. The first prints of Diglett had an error on them, where the type was... It was a normal type Pokemon, right? And it had the symbol for fighting type energy. So it was a fighting type Diglett. I have a few of those cards in my collection. They're not worth anything, they're just, you know, an interesting side note about the history of the Pokemon trading card game. Some of my most expensive Pokemon trading cards are actually, well, there was this thing called the Nintendo e-reader, right? The Nintendo e-reader was a kind of add-on for the Game Boy Advance, and you could force it into a Game Boy Advance SP. It wasn't supposed to work, but it did. It basically, it was like a scanner, like a QR, well, not QR code, it was like a barcode scanner that you would slide a card with a code on through it. So it was like, oh, I know. If you use a debit card or a credit card at a store and they have that card reader, it was like that, but for Nintendo cards. And they released a couple different versions of, I guess, iterations of those for Pokemon the Trading Card game. And they would do different things if you scan them with the e-reader. But, I guess it didn't catch on. A lot of those cards got destroyed because of how you had to scan them through this plastic device that you would attach to the top of your e-reader.
You were close.
So apparently some of those are worth more money. But I don't know. I never had anything too rare. I never got lucky with trading card games, right? I never really got anything cool. I didn't get the first generation Charizards. I didn't get anything. And I never have been lucky with any card game. I played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while, and I still didn't get lucky with Yu-Gi-Oh! You take pictures at a good pace. Oh, you're gonna give me another present? It's gonna make taking pictures easier? If you see a place where you think Pokemon might be hiding, use the Pester Ball. This is it. This is my favorite item in any Pokemon game ever. It is literally called the Pester Ball. This is a tear gas grenade. No, Oak, I know how to use a tear gas grenade. I think that was a bold choice by Nintendo. Technically this was HAL Laboratory, wasn't it? And HAL are the people who made Kirby, right? Kirby's another series that I really enjoy, that I don't think I've talked about too much, but I used to play a lot of Kirby. Kirby was one of my favorite games as a kid. You didn't have to read too much, which made it really easy to play. I feel like we should pester some things on the beach. How about it? Yeah.
Yes.
Instead of going straight to the river, let's pester some things at the beach. Tear gas! Tear gas! I don't know if the pester ball, actually does too much in a lot of different versions. Like, I think the apples are more destructive for some of these Pokemon. And the tear gas here just... it doesn't really do enough. A lot of Pokemon seem immune to it. Can't even hit that Butterfree. Okay, I hit it that time. I don't know. I think it's still fun. It's a cool little thing. And, I don't know. I think having the ability to tear gas different Pokemon really should be in more Pokemon games. Like, if that's not in the new Legends game, Zygarde or Z to A, or A to Z, or whatever they're calling it now, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Like, I'm already very disappointed in it. But I'll be even more disappointed if you can't tear gas different Pokemon in the streets of, wherever it is. Right? Because that's important. You're in a city. Scyther used to be one of my favorite Pokemon too. And these Pikachus are some of the highest points you can get. Yeah, the stump Pikachus, as they're called. Really stupid, but really cool. When it comes to points. I think you can actually... yeah, you can kill the Meowth. And then save these. Very good. I really like this model too, with the baby Kangaskhan. It's really cute, right? Technically that'd be a marsupial Pokemon, right? Yeah. Because it has a pouch. America doesn't really have too many marsupial or... yeah. America doesn't have marsupial Pokemon. I can't think of a single marsupial Pokemon in America. However, we do have marsupials in America. Not too many of them. And I mean America broadly. South America has more marsupials than North America. North America only really has the one that I know of. It's still alive, the opossum. There are other things in South America though, so don't quote me on that. Actually, you know what? I think this is bigger. Again, it might just be a perspective thing. Yeah, I don't know. We'll go with this one. It's not a very good picture. Ugh. It kinda looks like, well, it's supposed to look like a lucky cat. But it looks more like a lucky cat there, doesn't it? Very cute. I don't know. I think the best part about this game, the Pokemon Snap game in general, was the fact that you could see all of these different Pokemon living as a part of their environment, you know? I thought that was really cool as a kid. You could see how these different Pokemon would interact and play with one another, or what would happen if you threw a tear gas grenade at them. That's very cool too, you know? Throwing tear gas grenades, or Pokemon food shaped like an apple at them, I guess. These are Butterfree? Sure, those are Butterfree, why not? I think we probably have better Eevee. We don't have anything better than that. It looks kinda angry, doesn't it, that Eevee? What are you worshipping there? Praise the sun? That's great. That's beautiful. And I like that one. The pouch is kind of weird on that one. I don't know if you noticed. The pouch is kind of swaying to the side there. That's very strange. I like that a lot. It's kind of sagging, right? Like it's a very, very heavy baby. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
I really don't know how much longer I'm going to be playing this. Again, it's going to be just a low-effort night. And I've already talked more than I thought I would, or more than I really should. This might set back the healing process a bit later. But again, I really wanted to spend some time doing this, because it's been a while since I've actually streamed, since I've made content. So I just thought it'd be nice to have a slow, kind of ease back into it kind of night. Which is all this is supposed to be, right? I know you're supposed to rest when you're sick. And, yeah, I am resting. But at the same time, I feel like if I stop moving, like that's it. That's the end. That's the end of Hyde. Like a shark, you know? Sharks, they don't have operculums. Operculums being the gill covers on a fish. They don't have those, so they can't really move water over their gills as effectively as some fish with operculums. So they have to keep moving, or they have to go into currents in order to breathe. So it's either move or die for a shark. I feel like that's how most of my hobbies work. And VTubing, or PNG tubing, I guess. Pikachu on a stump? I've never seen that before. It's not that rare of behavior, I don't think. Here's the thing about Pikachu on a stump, though. Pikachu on a stump requires a stump. And sometimes trees fall in a forest for no reason at all. But those look perfectly cut. And I know that there is a scyther there that probably cut them. Those two perfectly grown trees just for that purpose. Especially with the evolution of Cleavor in Hisui in the Legends Arceus game. It makes sense for a scyther to cut through trees. However, I still like to imagine that these are human-cut trees. For whatever reason, humans cut down these trees. And the only way to get a picture of a Pikachu on a stump is for humans to actually be involved in it. I think that's how it should be, yeah.
Wow.
I didn't even get a very good picture of this, and look at the points.
Well done.
Almost 6,000 points for this objectively worse picture of Pikachu. You can't even see it in the center there. Yeah, it's not very great. Everything is so-so.
Wonderful.
Where's the violence, Hyde? Show me the violence. Yeah, that's pretty big. Jolly. I don't actually remember if Pokemon Natures existed at this point. I don't think so. I don't think Pokemon Natures existed, so the Jolly nature wouldn't really make sense. That's a little bit of serendipity, perhaps? A little bit of foreshadowing, perhaps, too.
Wonderful.
If they were thinking about it back then, I don't know. I think Natures came about in... Oh, was it Gen 3? It might have been Gen 3. With Sapphire and Ruby. Or maybe it came in Crystal. I'm not sure.
Well done.
If it came in Gen 2, I can't remember it. I know it wasn't in Gen 1. At least not modern or original Gen 1. I know there are Pokemon hiding. I will go assault the Pokemon for you, okay? Okay. I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna go do it.
Yes.
Just give me a minute, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't assault the Pokemon enough. Look, I'm doing it. Look, Oak, I'm doing it. I'm hitting the Pokemon with Pester Balls, just like you taught me to do. I think we missed it. That's okay. Those aren't the ones he wanted me to assault anyway. You know? Unfazed. Completely unfazed. Doesn't care. So tricky. Go ahead. Get the apple. Such a stupid Pokemon. Isn't it? Like, look at how stupid it looks. It's not stupid because of its face. It's stupid because of, like, the entire construction of it. What is it supposed to be? Is it supposed to be a hippo? Is it supposed to be some kind of otter? Like what? What are you? You're not a real animal. And I think the voices on these is very strange. Perfect. Those are great pictures of Metapod. I thought there was Gold Duck in this game, apparently not. Like, I thought if you hit one of those, you'd get a Gold Duck picture. No. No, that is not the case. And I don't like that there are Porygons out here. Like, why are there Porygons out here in the wild? The only way you could get Porygon in the first gen was through the casino, right? You'd have to gamble for Poke tickets or whatever they were, casino chips. And when you did, you can unlock, or you could trade them for Porygons, which I thought was weird, but then I thought about it. Porygon is a digital Pokemon. It is the Digimon of the Pokemon world. It only exists because computers exist, right? And because we're sending all of these different Pokemon through the, oh, those are bad pictures. Did I get any good picture of this? Not really. Not really. That's close. You were close! They only exist because we're sending Pokemon through Bill's system. Bill's PC, right? Oh yeah, yeah. That's great. Okay, it's not that stupid. I think they're interesting looking. That's an ominous photo. I think that's perfect. If you have any complaints about that, I'm going to be very upset. I don't think I'm going to get a better picture of Metapod. I don't actually care too much about getting the best pictures, right? You don't need the best pictures to beat the game. All you need is pictures that are good enough. Which I think I do pretty well. You know, they're good enough.
You were close. Well
You were close. You weren't. You weren't even close. He's patronizing me. I'm doing all of this field work for him, and he's complaining about the quality of my pictures. I'm showing him rare behaviors of these Pokemon. I think that's one of the few things that Pokemon Snap did better with new Pokemon Snap. You could get different star ratings
wonderful.
based on different behaviors of a Pokemon. And it felt more like an ecological report, right? I say this a lot. Only 550. What do I have to do? Be inside of the Metapod to get a 1000 on that?
Well done.
Okay, fine. But I do think that new Pokemon Snap is a worse game, generally. But some of what it does is better. And that might just be nostalgia speaking. Yeah, I know that wasn't a better picture. But one of the things I do generally like, or genuinely like, is the fact that you can get different behaviors, and you can have pictures of those different behaviors. The fact that you have to is kinda not great. But I do feel like it's fun seeing those different behaviors and having pictures of all of the different behaviors. It feels more like a complete report of the ecology of the Pokemon, their interactions with other Pokemon, their interactions with humans. I always thought that was cool, right? And I think that's one of the things that Legends A to Z could do. I haven't seen any evidence of it from the trailers, but how Pokemon interact with humans, I don't think that's been done since Hey You Pikachu, maybe. Which is a game that no one's gonna know about. Hey You Pikachu. That's never gonna come back. You're gonna need You know what? You know what? I say that. But the Switch 2 is apparently going to have microphones, right? So they could bring back, for a virtual console, Hey You Pikachu. And other games that required microphones, like, there was Mario Party that required microphones, too. So that'd be pretty neat. It's not gonna make me buy a Switch 2. But if they did that, if they brought Hey You Pikachu back, that'd be very interesting. Because Hey You Pikachu really felt like you were training a Pikachu. Yeah, it felt like you were interacting with a Pokemon directly. In a very cool way. It was pretty much, almost entirely voice-controlled. Yeah, it was a very fun interaction. And a lot of people didn't ever get to experience that because it didn't do well. To my knowledge, it did not do well here in the West. I owned a copy. I don't know if I still do. It'd probably be in storage somewhere. I'd have to go digging through a lot of boxes. Hyde, you found a split in the path. According to my research, that split should link to a new course. I've also made a link from my lab. You should go right away. Did you do any looking? Did you see any dangers there? Like, are there rapids, perhaps? Rapids and waterfalls that I should be careful of? Any kind of warning at all, Professor Oak? No! Go right away! Okay. I think the cave is a great zone. It's a poor course. What do I mean by that? I think it's really cool. I think it's very cool. However, I think it's, how should I say this? Small. I think it's one of the smallest courses. And it doesn't feel like it all the time. But it is one of the smaller courses, I think, if you look at it objectively. That's a terrible picture. I'm not getting very good pictures here. I do like that scream. It's a very good scream from the Grimer. Yeah. Now, there are a lot of hidden Pokemon in this. Things that you have to hit with Pester Balls. Things that you have to free. Like, there's this. This stupid thing. It's almost impossible for me to hit this. So I almost never try. Yeah. So that's just dead now. You know? That happens. Pokemon are like that. Sometimes Pokemon die, and sometimes it's because of humans. But sometimes the Pokemon adapt, right? We call it evolution. And the survival of the fittest Pokemon is what we're really going for here. This is impossible to get. Hitting that stupid Zubat with the Pikachu. Technically, this Pikachu has one of the highest points that you could get, but the conditions for actually doing it are so difficult, it's not worth it. You have to slow the 0-1, and you have to hatch this Articuno egg in order to get the Pikachu to ride the Articuno. Which is not something that I knew you could actually do for the longest time. But it's true. It's true, you can do it. And right there would be where I'd put my Jigglypuff, if I had one. I don't. Dinkelberg. That's really the level. If you don't get the Jigglypuffs, there's nothing here for you. Kind of feels bad, right? That seemed short compared to other levels, didn't it? I always thought so. And I was watching the Boundary Break video for Pokemon Snap. And it is. It is really one of the smallest levels. It has a lot of vertical change to it. But it doesn't have much length to it. So you don't really go too far. It doesn't feel like a big level at all. And that's kind of sad, you know? Oh, it looks like it's melting. Wonderful! But he's gonna give us low points for not getting it looking at us. I'll take that one. I'll take that one. These are supposed to be... No, that's coughing, huh? Okay. It's terrible. Oh, look at that. That's adorable. It has a little toe pad. Wait. No, that's its arm sticking through its foot. Oh, this poor Jigglypuff. Not only is it being abducted by a coughing, it has stabbed its own arm right through its foot. That's great. I love it. Fantastic. The world of Pokemon is wild, isn't it? Let's see what we have here. I really don't like the shape of this Pokemon. Yeah, about all I'm gonna say about that. I really don't like the shape of that Pokemon. Alright, Oak, tell me how I did. You did terrible. There's not enough violence in any of these pictures. Why didn't you show me a melting Grimer? I did my best to be violent, Professor Oak. You're not giving me enough violent tools. That reminds me, speaking of violence in Pokemon, Pal World is having a hard time, isn't it? Nintendo sued Pal World, and Pal World had to change a bunch of things. I don't know how to feel about that. Like, I don't really care about Pal World. I really don't. It really wasn't, though. But the fact that Nintendo can do that, that they can, like, patent the ability to store monsters inside of ball-shaped objects, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know. You know? Like, is it the fact that it's a sphere that you can't do it anymore? Is that really significant? Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! You store monsters in duel cards. And, I'm sure there are other things you could store them in, but... a sphere is just a sphere, you know? As long as they're not calling them Pal Balls. And I don't know if they were. It's just kind of weird to me that you can patent that kind of thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Pal World is a blatant, blatant homage, to put it nicely, and rip-off, to put it not so nicely. I don't know. Yeah! When I get to about the river, I don't feel like going back too often, but I really could. I could go to the tunnel, I could go to the volcano, and I could get new Pokemon in all of these places. However, I feel like completing this and getting the jet booster, the fan boat attachment, whatever you call it, really saves you more time and getting all of the Pokemon you missed before, right? So I don't really see much of a point not to do it. Not to go forward. Here's a fun fact. The Squirtles are modeled, so the inside of the shells, you can actually see what's inside of a Squirtle shell. Very strange to me. I hit that Goldeen. I wasn't even intending to hit that Goldeen. Come on, give me some kind of Magikarp here. If you get a Magikarp in front of that, you can get a Gyarados later in the level. Which is important. Getting the Gyarados is very cool. Gyarados was one of my favorite Pokemon as a kid. Oops. There goes the encoder again. Again, there's something wrong with my driver. My video driver. I've updated it to, believe it or not, the recommended ones. So I'm gonna have to probably downgrade it. I think that's what's gonna have to happen here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to downgrade it. You know how drivers are sometimes operating system specific? Like, not usually. Not usually at all. Right, I need the Pokeflute for that. And there's no Magikarp here for that. So I can't do that. That's fine. A lot of times they're not. And mine isn't supposed to be specific to the manufacturer. It's just supposed to be specific to the chip. And that's gonna be a problem. The fact that it kinda is what it is. Perfect. Yeah. I don't know. I've been having more troubles since I've updated it to what it should be. So that's a problem for me. It's not ideal, to put it bluntly. We missed out on a lot of Pokemon here. That's okay. You can always come back later. Ever since I did do the updates, some things have been more consistent, right? I've been having fewer problems with certain things. But at the same time, I've been having more problems with other things. And it hasn't fixed any of my issues with the OBS weirdness that goes on. Oh, you know what? I have Windows updates. That's what's causing the problem right now. I have Windows updates that need to be done. Thank you, Windows, for doing that. Oh, hi, Hyde. What a surprise to see you here. I'm in my safari hunting clothes. I have my big game guns in the back of that shack. I'm going to hunt some... I don't know what you'd hunt. Rhydons? I'm going to hunt some Rhydons. Would you like to join me? I suppose you'd like to know why I'm here. I just told you. I received some interesting information at the Pokemon Lab. It seems that there are 6 Pokemon signs hidden on the island. They couldn't even write out Pokemon. You're supposed to be a professor, you can't even spell the word Pokemon? Come on. I know there's an accent mark in the E, but it's not that hard. They have something to do with important Pokemon that are here. The signs are scenery which seem to resemble Pokemon. One sign is a mountain that looks like Dugtrio. I came here to look for it. However, I can't go any deeper into the island, so I can't find it. Have you seen a mountain that looks like Doug Trio? Yes, I did, right at the start of the course. Oh, I have an idea. If you find this Pokemon sign, take a picture of it, like you would a Pokemon. We might discover clues from the pictures and the places where you took them. Shall I repeat this information?
Wait.
No. Wait! I'll add a page for Pokemon signs in the Pokemon report. And then a page for Pokemon violence. Yes, show me the violence. See you later. I'm off to shoot some Rhydons. Ah, that was an awful Oak impression. I'm just not feeling it tonight. I can't do it. I can't do it tonight. It looks kind of like it's dancing. Yeah, very precarious. Oh, we did get a Goldeen. How about that? I thought we missed it. Awful. Both awful. Very good. None of these are great. He's gonna complain about every single one. Sandshrew. That's pretty good. It's kind of cute. That little walking animation. I think this game did really well with the Pokemon that were more rounded. And the Pokemon that were more angular, like Sandslash. They kind of look... Well, they didn't age as well, right? The angularity is very obvious given the polygons. I guess that. Yeah. The limitations in the polygons makes it look especially obvious that the angularity is not great. Unless it's, you know, Staryu here, in which case you really can't tell, because it is just a pointed star. It's like one of those pictures where the fist is coming right at you. Sad. Didn't get very many good pictures there. The rapids kind of prohibited it. We're not gonna be going for too much longer. I can feel it in my throat, you know?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Ugh. It was probably a bad idea to stream while sick. But, again, you know, I haven't been here for a while. I know I've been hard to get a hold of. I was busy, and then I got sick from the busyness. And I thought I was recovering, and I really wasn't. Which was not great. I really don't think it was the alcohol, you know? Like, when you get sick, and you drink alcohol, alcohol's full of... A lot of alcohols are full of histamines, or things that can cause congestion. Alcohol itself, ethanol, is... Desiccant isn't the right word. It's a diuretic. There we go. So, you know, you really gotta maintain your fluid levels.
Wonderful.
So it's possible that it contributed to me feeling stuffier the next day, but what I think happened was either I got a secondary sinus infection, and I'm recovering from that now, or perhaps just a rebound, right? Like, if you don't sleep well enough, you don't get enough hydration, sometimes a virus or a bacteria can just cause a rebound, right? Like, your immune system stops putting up enough fight, and it just says, hey, round 2. And apparently that's pretty common, right? Like, apparently 10% of colds can turn into rebound colds, which I didn't know about until this time. Is the craziest thing, right? I was feeling fine,
Wonderful.
and then the next day I wasn't.
Wait.
Wait, Hyde, let's return to the lab. So it's kinda crazy. Welcome back. Here's something to make your search for Pokemon signs easier. Wouldn't it be great if the 01 moved faster? Well, now you can use the dash engine if you want to go faster. It's easy to use. Press R to make the 01 move faster. I don't think I've said it, but I'm playing this on the Nintendo Switch with the N64 virtual console thing they have. So these buttons do not correspond to the Joy-Cons that I'm using. Shall I repeat this information? No. First of all, see the Pokemon sign page. No, I don't think we will. We're just gonna do it. The first one is pretty simple. We might be able to beat this game. I don't usually like rushing this game, but at the same time, I feel like it's fine if I do. This is only supposed to be a one-off anyway, right? Pokemon violence! We already have a good enough picture there. That's the first sign that we need. Looking out for Lapras here. I thought it was weird that we didn't get Kinglers in this game, you know? Kinglers and Krabbies would look so good on this beach. And the fact that they don't exist here, definitely missed out on that. One of those limitations, I guess. I can't be too upset. It's still a perfect game, right? There are plenty of games that aren't perfect games, and this isn't perfect in the sense that it's flawless, but it's perfectly fun. Where did that Meowth go? It just disappeared there for a second. We missed the Lapras. It's your fault, Meowth. It's your fault. I know a lot of people say that you have to get the Scyther to get those Pikachus on a stump. I'm not sure if that's true. I feel like it isn't, but it might be. You know? I feel like it could be. Dad. I feel like that's kind of misinformation. But maybe I'm giving the misinformation, you know? Like, I'm not an expert in this game by any means. And I'd never claim to be. There are still all kinds of interactions that I don't know about. I think you can save that Meowth. I don't think I ever will, though. Now, we got the sign, that's the important thing. How many Pokemon do we still need? It's not even worth it. There's your Pokemon sign. Snorlax picture. That's good. Ooh, that's even better. That's really good. We'll take that one. Snorlax is one of those Pokemon that I really like. I hate that they gave it a pre-evolution. That's a Pidgey? Sure. Why not? We're not gonna pick any of those. We're not gonna pick any of those Eevees either. Lapras is bad. The Meowths are bad. None of those. I really don't like that they gave Snorlax the baby evolution for Munchlax. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, from an ecological standpoint, big lazy Pokemon should be big lazy Pokemon. Snorlax is like a ground sloth. What do you mean it's bigger? How is that bigger? Look at the size of the foot in comparison to the same foot. Do you mean more of it's in the picture? I guess more of it's in the picture. but only because it's hiding behind itself. You know what, Oak? I don't understand your highfalutin camera wizardry that you want here. I'm just a simple Pokemon photographer. You found a Pokemon sign. You take pictures. I get another present? Oh right, the Pokefloat. I forgot that it even existed, right? Like I talked about it before. You can listen to different music by using the down button. Try playing it often. Shall I repeat the information? No. I never use the Pokeflute. I feel like I should mention that. I just don't like it. I don't see the point in it. That's my favorite, this song. They gave these Pokemon some very strange sounding things, right? Bonk. Oh no, it exploded! How wonderful! Come on. Come on. Over here, little Pikachu. We don't care. We just need a picture of Zapdos. And we don't even need that. To be honest with you, we just needed to turn on the machine. Right? Like, none of this actually matters. Not a single part of it. The Pokemon sign is the most important part of this. Do you like this song? Do you prefer that song? Song of your people? There we go, Pinsir. I was very disappointed that there were no Pinsers in this game either. You know? I feel like Pinsir was probably one of my favorite Pokemon. I was really big into bug-type Pokemon, obviously. And there weren't that many of them. This picture is going to be terrible. I always forget whether I should get the centered picture, or if I should put one of them in the center, right? And I think I'm supposed to put one in the center. Yeah, I think that's how it's supposed to work. Which is not at all how you'd expect a Pokemon made of 3 different Magnemites to work. That's okay. You know? Sometimes it happens like that. Oh yeah. Yeah. You're gonna give me 0 points for that violence, but I love it. Look at his big alien eyes. Yeah, it's a great picture. Oh yeah, yeah. Angry face or explosion? We'll go with explosion. No Pikachu. Zapdos. It's pretty good Zapdos. Very majestic. Which one of these is the best? I feel like this one has the best balance between size and, yeah, size and the amount of Pokemon on the frame centering. That's the Pokemon sign. I do wonder about Professor Oak's criteria for posing. Some of these Pokemon, like this, is a great photo. He's not gonna like it though, you know? See?
You were close.
Like, how could you get a picture more centered than that? I'm practically inside of the Electabuzz. I'm practically in his organs right there, you know? Like, look at him. He is perfectly centered in the frame. This one's not gonna work, though. I can already tell. Oh wow, we got the pixel magic there.
Well done.
It did work. I'm surprised. I feel like we've had much better centering in some of these pictures. What are the odds? It's exactly the same. How is it exactly the same? The funniest thing about this game, though, is that there are people who actually try to maximize the points. I don't think that's funny in and of itself, but they do it for weird categories, right?
Wonderful.
So, best Magikarp on river level,
Oh,
or best Magikarp on
wonderful.
on caves, you know? So there are Pokemon, and then there are like Pokemon in zones, if they occur in multiple zones. And then there's like total points, which,
Welcome back.
how insane would it be to actually spend all the time to do that? Like, I couldn't do it. I don't have the attention span for that. I just couldn't do it, you know? I can barely play the game as it is. I feel like it's cool that people want to do it. Come on. There we go. I always hated that one. You know? Just hate that one. Because it's so hard to get. Bonk. Violence is great. I do like the violence quite a lot. We saved that Charmander this time. Sometimes I like hurting the Charmanders, and sometimes I like saving them. I'm a cruel and fickle Pokegod, but I am Pokegod nonetheless. Yeah. We don't really need too many things here. We don't need Magmar photos. We need Growlithe. I think we can get Arcanine too. Yeah. Actually, there might not be Arcanine in this. It might just be Growlithe. Look at the dancing Growlithe. He's so happy. So adorable. Growlithe was only in, God is when... Oh, yeah. God is when balls are pelted at you from the sky like a divine strike. I don't think we have orbital Pokeball dispensers yet, but maybe in the future that's something we can do. Pokemon is getting more and more technologically advanced with each generation, right? What is this? What is this picture? Oh, it's so adorable. I hate it. We're gonna pick that one though. I do think we're gonna get a space Pokemon eventually. We're gonna get Pokemon in space, and instead of going to different towns, we'll go to different planets. Game Freak, please do not steal. Original idea. Pokemon in space with space lasers. I think that's what's going to happen with Nintendo. Instead of suing... I guess it's Power World and Sony now that are doing it, because Sony distributed, I think. Instead of suing them, they're going to steal the idea of using guns in Pokemon. And instead of guns, they're going to be space lasers. We already have the fact that Mount Moon, right, was... or the meteorite for Mount Moon was a spaceship that the Clefairy were riding on, right? Which doesn't make much sense from the rest of the lore of the series. But, I don't know. Space travel is canon. And then there's Deoxys, right? Deoxys came down on another meteorite. However, what a wonderful pose! However, there was also the case of Mew being the first Pokemon, right? Like, Mew was supposed to be the progenitor of all Pokemon. And that's why Mew, when it was cloned, or when they tried to clone it, they created Dittos, which could mimic any other Pokemon. At least that's the lore as it used to be.
Wonderful.
Now I couldn't tell you because there are fossil Pokemon, and some of them have been there for millions of years, apparently. That's if you believe that fossils are real and exist, right? Like, a lot of people don't think that fossils are real. I don't think fossils are real. Not in the Pokemon universe. You can't revive a Pokemon from a fossil. That's magic. You can't do that in the real world. You can't go out there and collect a fossil and revive it. Okay, you can. You technically can, but it's a very limited kind of fossil, right? Technically, fossils can be at most, or at least 10,000 years old, right? So as long as it's at least 10,000 years old, you can talk about recent fossils. Which is kind of strange to think about, calling something so recent a fossil, but it's true, right? That is technically a fossil. Yeah. So, you could talk about woolly mammoths, for example, being fossils. I don't know if a lot of people actually use that kind of definition of a fossil. But it's true. And then there are mummies and the like. I really like Vileplume. I always liked Vileplume. Such a cute Pokemon. I like the Oddish evolutions. I like all of the Oddishes, really. You don't care at all. That was weird. Weird clipping there. I am inside of the Metapod. Bet we could get that Psyduck. We missed. I'm glad no one took me up on my bet. Because we did not get that Psyduck. We in fact missed that Psyduck completely. I really don't like going after the shoulders in this game. So I learned this, this portal actually has a lot behind it. From the boundary break video, that this portal has some of the most unused, I guess, section of a map in the game. So that's pretty cool. They might have intended to put more of it in the game. But they didn't, for whatever reason. That's a really good Bulbasaur. Such a happy-looking Bulbasaur. Really? I guess you. It's not very good. Bioplume? That's such a weird looking face, doesn't it? I can't even tell what that sign is. Pretty sure it's supposed to be a Cubone. Oh yeah, look at that. Why does it have fangs? You know, like why does it have fangs? You would think that this Pokemon that fishes for shelders. You know what? Sure. Tell me how you feel about that, Oak. You'd think that this Pokemon that fishes for shelders, we did get it. We did get it. I didn't think we did. That's great. This Pokemon that fishes for shelders would be, it would have cracking teeth instead of sharp, piercing teeth. Right? So it would have something like big molars for cracking into the shells of these shelled creatures. But that doesn't seem to be the case. They have these sharp fangs which are for piercing and gripping onto flesh and tearing. Which makes me think they might be, I guess they'd probably be carnivorous. There's a word for that though, right? When they only eat fish. Piscivore? Yeah, I think that they're called piscivores. That doesn't make sense, because how are they catching fish? Not everything is going to bite on their tails, right? And they're not very fast. If anything, you would expect them to be vegetarian or herbivores, right? They'd be eating apple-shaped Pokemon food exclusively. The fishing habit is very interesting, though. So I could understand that perhaps the fishing habit is reflective of them being piscivores. But in this game, in the first generation, the only fish Pokemon that could have been eaten would have been maybe Magikarp. And I don't feel like piercing teeth would work for Magikarp. And there are Goldines, but Goldines don't really look like Goldines are supposed to be really fast Pokemon. And fast Pokemon, I don't think they'd actually fall for the Slowpoke tail gambit. They could bite off a chunk of the tail pretty easily, I think. Really? Okay. I thought it was a better picture.
You were close.
What, you don't like the inside of a Metapod? I thought it was a great
You
picture.
were close.
No? Okay. It's the same picture. It's the same.
Well done. Oh, wonderful.
I do wonder about Cloyster, though. Like, what happens if a Cloyster bites onto a Slowpoke's tail?
Welcome.
How does it evolve then? Or does it just eat the Slowpoke at that point? I feel like that might be the case. It might just eat the Slowpoke. Yeah. Wish. Do, do, do. Whoosh. I do want to get these Dittos here. We didn't get a very good Ditto. Very good. Very good. Now where's the constellation for this? Is it after this one? We have freed the Jigglypuff. We have freed 2 Jigglypuffs. I don't think we're gonna get 3, but we can try. We did it! We did it. I'm surprised. I never do that. I don't think I've ever done that. That is such a rare thing for me. All luck. Come on. Dance for me. Yeah, yeah, dance. I don't like how it said Jinx. I do not like that. Very good, very good. I'm happy with that. I think we did a good job there. I don't think there are any more Jigglypuffs. I think 3 is the max. The interesting thing about that Jigglypuff in particular, though, is we know it's from the anime, right? Like, there's a reference there. The fact that it has the marker. I think it's a marker in the anime. It's supposed to be a microphone, right? But it isn't. It's not a microphone, it's a marker. Because that's what it uses to draw on the faces of people that fall asleep during its performance. Yeah. So that's really cool that they're referencing that. In fact, I'm pretty sure Todd was in some of the episodes of Pokemon as well. What's the best one we have here? We want something in the center, and we want something big. I think maybe that's gonna be it. Yeah. Weird, stretchy Jigglypuffs. Where's the Pokemon sign? We gotta get the Pokemon sign, too. We don't want to forget that. I think it's very strange that there's a Mewtwo Pokemon sign when Mewtwo should not naturally exist in this world. Don't you think that's strange? Like, I know there's a hand-wavy explanation at the end of the game. That someone made these Pokemon signs and put them in the world. But it just seems like such an unnatural thing to exist. Yeah, I'll go for that one. In this entire realm of the cave. It's very strange. You're not gonna give me full points. You're not gonna say that's centered. Tell you what. I feel like even though we're not gonna get full points for this, that's still my favorite. So we'll go with that one.
Yes.
Tell me how I did, Professor Oak.
Great.
I'm not surprised. Ugh. I hope I get better soon. I still have some backlog content that I can edit and put out there. So when I start feeling better, I hope to do that. We'll see if I do. But I'm just waiting. You know, I'm trying to give myself enough time to actually start to feel better.
Wonderful. Wow.
Jigglypuff Trio on stage has a value of 1,200 points. Yeah, it's a lot smaller. Oh, it's singing cheerfully.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Well done.
Pretty good picture. Never gonna happen again.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. So we're missing 6 Pokemon?
Welcome back.
I think we're missing 6 Pokemon. If I can math right. And there are a lot of them in the valley. Did we miss anything in the beach? No. Tunnel? No. Volcano? No. River? No. Cave? No. We need Dratini, Dragonite, Gyarados. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what else we need. I know we need a couple different ones here, but I don't know how many we need here. I don't think we need that many. That's the one we need to hit with a pester ball, right? That Magikarp? Yeah, see, it gets flung. That's really cool, right? So now we can get the Gyarados. Oh, you know what? I'm stupid. We need that too. Yeah. There's Sandshrew. Very good. Should probably work on getting Dratinis instead of these Sand Slashes and stuff. Perfect timing, huh? I think we can get Gravelers and Golems. We got the Goldeen anyway, so we don't need to get that. We have Starmie, we have Staryu. Gyarados, Dratini, Graveler, perhaps? Golem, we need the Golem. Or is there no Golem here? Just Gravelers, okay. Here's the Gyarados. Can I bonk it? No, it doesn't care. Cares about apples. The apple-shaped Pokemon food is more destructive in this game than the tear gas. I want you to remember that. Remember that for later. Tear gas, not a problem. Apple-shaped Pokemon food. Painful. Burns. Made of lead. It's immune to the apples. We found the most powerful Pokemon known to Poke Professors, I guess? I don't know what's left. I know we need, the final boss, of course. But what other Pokemon did we miss? Okay, so that was a Dratini. So I guess we have, oh, how many more do we need? That was a good Goldeen. I'm happy with that one. I don't know. I think we got most of them. I'm happy. I don't usually get most Pokemon, but I'm not quite sure what we're missing. Got Charizard. We got Growlithe. Is there Arcanine in this? I always think there is. Dratini? It's a pretty good Dratini right there. We'll do it the Curlicue here. Why not? Pokemon sign? Do the Pokemon signs count as Pokemon? I don't think they do. That's a better Geodude by a couple points, probably. Really good Sandshrew. Nice and centered. Sandslash. Sure. Sure, a lot going on in that picture. Graveler? We have better Gravelers. I think this one's it. We don't have the front-on face view of it, but I think that's still fine. I think we want the angry Gyarados. Yeah, that. These aren't very good. These are kinda awful, in fact. I guess. It's fine, you know? Just having a picture at all is fine. Sure, why not? Didn't we get a Goldine at the end? Yeah, we got a good Goldine. There we go. Tell me how I did, Professor Oak.
Yes.
Tell me how I did. The pose is the exact same pose. You know what? There's a difference in the pose. If you zoom in and look very carefully, the one on the left has his hands slightly more open. The one on the right is making fists. Obviously, that's a worse pose. You can't see the fingers. When Pokemon have fingers, it's kind of weird. This is the exact same pose, though. I'll never understand it.
You were close.
But that's fine, you know, I don't have to understand it. I just have to win, right? I just have to beat the game. Graveler's group dance has a value of 500 points. It's a better picture. Like, the size is a lot bigger. I don't know what he's talking about. Only giving me 500 versus 360 on that tiny little thing where you can't see it.
Wow. Well done.
That's fine, you know, I don't care. He's going to just use these for a report anyway. You'd think interesting ecological behavior like dancing gravelers would be more interesting than, you know, just a graveler standing on the bank of a river, but no.
You were close.
I wasn't even close. Don't give me that.
Wait.
I can't believe we haven't gotten one single in-frame, in-center Magikarp this entire game. Magikarp being in every single level. You'd think I would've.
Wait.
Missing 3 Pokemon.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. You finally got all of the Pokemon sign pictures. After looking at these 6 pictures, I've noticed that the signs are just like the constellations that can be seen from the Pokemon Island. That's the key to this mystery. It's the sky. What's the sky? They're coming from the sky, Hyde. Get your tinfoil hat on, because Pokemon come from space. Now it all makes sense. Rainbow cloud floating in the sky. It's the secret course. Wait a second. Professor Oak, are you telling me that there's been a rainbow-colored cloud in the sky this whole time, and you're just now telling me about it? Like, don't you think you should have warned me about that cloud? Maybe told me to take some pictures of it for your report at some point? Someone in the clouds must have created the Pokemon signs. That's a bold kind of conclusion to draw there. I don't know how you would jump to that conclusion. Why would you think that someone in the cloud made them? Like, some of these are... One of them's made in a machine. One of them... At least one of them's a natural feature. One of them might be a carving. I don't know how you got... One of them was gas from a pester ball. You have to pester ball a volcanic cloud. How are you saying that someone in the rainbow cloud made that? I've made a new path to the rainbow cloud. This could prove very important for Pokemon research. Good luck, Hyde. This is gonna be pain. We're gonna try. Yeah, we're gonna try.
Yes.
I can almost never do this first try. So we're gonna try our best. Gonna have to concentrate for this one. Starting to see some problems here. There we go. There we go. Thought you could avoid me forever, huh? Well, you can't. If you don't want violence, I'll just bring the violence to you. Passive, huh? You're a pacifist? I don't take well to pacifists. I'm here to cause violence to you. That's right. Coming after you. Gonna take a picture of you. There's nothing you can do about it. This is like the most brutal... Pester balling that is just very difficult, you know? I'm sure there's some kind of secret to it. Quit blinking in and out of existence like that. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. It's like looking away from me every time. It's doing it, okay? It's getting me, it's getting me. I didn't even see it that time. Alright, alright. We're back in the game here. I don't even care. So long as we get the picture, it's fine. You know? It doesn't have to be a good picture. I'm not going to be the best Pokemon photographer. I just want a picture of the legendary Pokemon. You know? That's all. Just a picture. There we go. It wasn't that hard, was it? We got a picture. Imagine someone barging into your home, taking your pictures against your will. Not only that, like, I'm smashing them in the face with tear gas and lead-made apples, right? Like, you saw how badly the Gyarados reacted to me throwing an apple-shaped Pokemon food at it. I'm just smashing this in the face with as much as I can. Do I have any of them looking at me? No. None of them looked back at me. That's okay. I'll take that. Look, Professor Oak. I got a picture of the Pokemon that made the Pokemon signs.
Yes.
Isn't that great? What's new this time? What do you mean, what's new this time? I solved the mystery of Pokemon Island. That's what's new. Wow, isn't that the rare Pokemon Mew? Is it? You tell me. How's the size? Horrible.
Oh.
Well done. How's the technique? Right in the middle of the frame.
Wonderful.
8,200 points. That's right.
Wait.
Wait, Hyde, let's return to the lab. My Pokemon report is well done. I have captured a picture of the rare Pokemon Mew. And I couldn't have done it without my trusty camera. I'm sure I'll give you a footnote somewhere, Todd. Welcome back.
Made it.
I never believed that Mew lived on this island, and I never believed that you could finish my report for me. Our Pokemon report now has a very memorable picture. Thank you, Hyde. This is all because of your hard work. Wonderful. It was so nice to find a photographer as good as you. Bye for now, but I'll see you later, Hyde. Are you threatening me?
See you.
Yeah? Yeah, I guess I will. That is a good picture. I'm sorry, but gonna toot my own horn with that Scyther. I didn't expect to beat this game today. Last time I played this, I spent a lot more time going through it. Playing it very thoroughly. This time, I thought because I was sick, I probably wouldn't be able to. But I'm glad I did, you know? I really enjoy this game, and it does make me feel better. Was I ever able to print pictures at the Snap Station? For those of you who were born, I guess, after 1999, and way after, there used to be this thing called a game rental store or a movie rental store. and Blockbuster was one of the common ones. You might have heard the tales of Blockbuster. Blockbuster Video. They used to, I think it was only Blockbuster that had a collaboration with Nintendo where they had little printing stations for this game. You would upload the cartridge with your save file onto it, and it would basically print out pictures of the pictures you took in the game. It was a very cool kind of, I guess, way to bring Pokemon into your own life. I was never able to do that, no. There wasn't a Blockbuster near me. I did rent this game, but it wasn't from Blockbuster. Yeah. Which is sad, you know? I always wanted to. I knew it was something that happened. But, yeah, it's just very sad that it didn't happen. I didn't get the chance, and I'm kinda envious of that. I wish they would have brought that back for new Pokemon Snap, but they didn't. At least not to my knowledge. I guess it makes sense, because there aren't any Blockbusters anymore, right? You can't really do it. I had a lot of fun, but I think that's where we're gonna end it for today. Thank you for joining me on this low-effort, high-sickness stream. I know it wasn't very, usual. I know, it probably wasn't very entertaining. I was mostly just reacting to things and saying, oh, look, there's a Pokemon. But at the same time, it was fun to hang out. And it was fun to go through this game again. I really enjoy it. And if you've never played it, give it a try for yourself. It's not as easy as it looks. But with all that said, we're gonna end it here. Thank you for joining me. I love you all. But for now, Hyde out.